left some space for lunch that will be happening at 12 later. First and foremost, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Julie. It is my absolute pleasure to be here with all of you this very exciting morning as we proudly introduce to you the latest addition to the Mercedes-Benz family right here at the newly refurbished Sepang International Circuit. Now if you take a look over there, I'm sure you'll agree with me that this latest edition, the new Mercedes-Benz C-Class Coupe, is truly a seductive blend of style, sophistication and drivability. It is athletic yet elegant, it's clean yet impeccably detailed, and it looks stunning, immaculate in every angle inside and out. Here to give you a detailed overview of what we have in store for you today, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome up front Mr. Mark Rain, Vice President of Sales and Marketing of Passenger Cars, Mercedes-Benz Malaysia, to say a few words.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Julie. I think she presented the cars better than I ever could. Ladies and gentlemen, journalists, friends from the media, photographers, film crews, colleagues, a wonderful warm welcome to our very exciting event this morning. Thank you for making the trip out here to the Sepang racetrack. I know it's a long way, but I can truly and honestly tell you we've got something very special in store for you today, and the journey is going to be worthwhile coming here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mark Rain. I'm the VP of Mercedes-Benz in Malaysia. Again, a very warm, special welcome, and thank you for joining us on this very special occasion. Today, we've got two highlights and a fun-packed program for you in store. We've got a very special highlight, which is just a stunning piece of design accomplishment in the automotive segment. It's a true beauty. The body line, the shape, it's just a fantastic car. I'm just so excited about it. You could say, well, I'm the biggest fan of this vehicle. I'm not trying to do a sales pitch. Actually, the reason of today is the presentation and the launch of this beautiful product, but you probably see the biggest fan in front of you of this vehicle. Before I go into the details and the specifications and presenting to you our newest addition to our Mercedes-Benz family, let me recap a bit of what has happened for Mercedes-Benz in the past 6 months. We kicked off the year with a true big bang, a highlight, launching the premium SUV range by Mercedes-Benz, and by that, redefining the SUV market for the premium segment. That was closely followed by the launches of the PJ Auto House and the Georgetown Auto House. Closely followed, start of March, the new generation of the A-Class in conjunction with an entirely new retail format in Malaysia, the Mercedes-Benz City Store. By these new retail formats and upgrades of our existing facilities, we invest into our retail network, into our facilities, into our service, which we provide to our customers. Why? Because we want to match the premium cars which we offer with an immaculate premium service to our customers. That was also why we just shortly launched the first of its kind, the Mercedes-Benz City Service in Jalan Ipoh, in the heart of KL, to give our customers more convenience. End of last year, we actually launched a new range of vehicles to the Mercedes-Benz portfolio. This range of vehicles is called the Mercedes-Benz Dream Car range, and in its entirety, it's unique to the market. It consists of 5 models: the E-Coupe, the CLS, the S63 Coupe, the AMG GTS, and the C63. Today, we're launching the newest addition to this range of vehicles. And you could say it's the entry level to this range, but it wouldn't be quite fair. In terms of affordability, yes, it's the entry level, but in terms of excitement and the vehicle itself, it's right up there with the high-end vehicles. Now, let me go into this vehicle. We've got an entirely exciting product coming up, and you could say it is the ultimate sporty driving machine, but see for yourself. me of design and beauty coupled with sportiness. I think now you can share the excitement which I have about this car, and I'm entirely excited of having this car on the track, on the road, and I can't wait until I get my hands on the steering wheel, actually driving it out, testing it, driving the agility, seeing how sporty this vehicle is. The C-Class Coupe for me is just, if I may say it that way, pure sex appeal on four wheels. It's just a stunning body line, it's an exciting shape, it's just got everything a sexy car needs to have. From the front, from the rear, it's just stunning. If you look at the vehicle from the front, it's got all the bells and whistles, it's just immaculate in terms of design. But not only from the front and the side, the vehicle is very exciting and fascinating. Also from the rear, the perfectly proportioned rear is stunning by itself. And normally, the average car is overlooked from the back. But this vehicle challenges you to take a second glance, and by that, see the perfect proportions of this vehicle, and normally results in astonishment and amazement of how grand this vehicle is. I could go on, and I've been boasting about this vehicle, but while talking about the vehicle, I nearly forgot about our second highlight coming up today. We've got today the launch of the C-Class Coupe, and it's going to be a soon-to-be legend. But today, we've got a true racing legend with us today, and what better person to launch the C-Class Coupe with us than a Formula One hero, a racing legend, a motorsports hero, our very own Mercedes-Benz brand ambassador, David Coulter. Let's welcome him. Join me on stage, David. Hi, David. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Hi, David. How are you? Did you have a good trip?
Good. I'm enjoying actually listening to you describe the car, and I was just standing there checking out the front, side, and rear. And the use of language, I think actually Julie used a beautiful word in her opening introduction when she said the car is seductive. What a wonderful word. You said it so much better than the way I can. But it is the case. And you know, for those of us, and I guess most of us here in the room, we have a passion for cars, and you know, the beauty of engineering art. And this may be one of the smaller cars in the Mercedes range, but that doesn't mean it's not any more seductive or any more beautiful than the other cars in the range. Your passion for it is clear to be seen. So you obviously feel this is going to be successful in the marketplace here.
I think this needs to be my next company car, actually. As I said, it's great to have you here. It's not been that long since you last were here. I don't know if you remember last time, actually, when you were here, we were also both on stage.
Yeah, but that was an evening function. Which
Yeah,
means
yeah.
instead of eating breakfast, we're having a refreshing alcoholic beverage. That comes later. First, today we get to enjoy driving this car out on track.
Do you have any memories of Malaysia, Sepang racetrack, any special occasions?
Well, I don't need to tell you that this region, this country, and the surrounding countries, it's a wonderful part of the world. We, as a Formula One community, have always been very well welcomed to this racetrack. I did the very first Grand Prix here, way back in my days of driving for my father in Mercedes, when I was teammates with Mika Hakkinen. And you're all very much accustomed to the heat, but this was definitely one of the most challenging races that I'd ever experienced at that time. And I remember after the first practice on the Friday, both Mika, who comes from Finland, which is a cold country, I come from Scotland, which is a cold country, and having done the first practice session, we were sitting in the debrief room with the engineers, both with our feet in buckets of ice, doing the debrief in our underwear, which was not pretty, but we were both purple because the shock to the body in terms of dealing with that humidity. But it became for me one of the real highlights of the Grand Prix calendar because of that physical challenge. And you know, driving a car quickly is a pleasure, but to, as a sportsman, take yourself physically and mentally to the limit is something really incredible. So I do miss driving this racetrack in Formula 1. I don't miss any of the others, but I'm looking forward to getting back out on track with some of you this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we've got, exciting program later on, and we're all going to be going on the racetrack. Tell me, you've got a range of Mercedes-Benz cars in your garage. Which ones do you have?
Well, I've got the C-Class, as I call it, estate, but I guess it's called station wagon in other European countries. So I have a couple of kids, and a tall wife, a dog. The selfish days of having something that I can just jump into and take myself for a drive is behind me. But it's a C63 AMG, so it's a little bit of performance, as anyone who's experienced AMG range will know. And it's a perfect balance for me of the size of the car for living in the Principality of Monte Carlo, which if any of you have been there, it's quite a small place. So you need to have something which is agile, and I still get to feel like a racing driver when I'm out on the open roads because it's got great performance. I've also got a GLS, which is a fantastic sort of move the masses, take the family, all the suitcases up to the mountains for skiing in the winter. So I think in terms of those two vehicles, I have a great crossover. I've got a little smart car, which is always good for doing the school run in the morning with my son, who's 7 years old. So in Monte Carlo, there's a wide range of beautiful vehicles, but there's not much will beat smart away from the traffic lights going up to the palace, which is where his school is. And I've got an old 1971 280 SL, so for any of you who like classic Mercedes cars, I bought that in 1995, before I first drove for Mercedes in Formula One. So I grew up surrounded by Mercedes vehicles. My father always bought Mercedes, so I've always been a big fan of the brand. And that car is the same age as me, and so I feel I'm sharing a life journey with the car. It was first registered 3 weeks before I was born, and ever since I had that car, I said I would pass it on to the next generation. So my son will probably take it when he's 17 or 18. Think, what am I doing with this old car, and sell it for an AMG model or something.
I think that's a fantastic range of vehicles, but the next edition needs to be the C Coupe.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the C Coupe. From the exterior, the design, what is fascinating for you? What do you like about the design?
Well, I think anyone who follows closely how the whole Mercedes range has developed over the last few years, you see the family. You see the family, whether it's the smaller range of cars, the C Coupe, or right through to some of the larger limousines. And for me, it represents it's got a sporty look to it, which I really appreciate, having been a sportsman myself. You like to feel that the engineering art that we're looking at is moving even when it's standing still. And with this car, I think it's got that. You need to feel proud, I think, when you walk to your car. You need to feel proud of your investment. And there's no question for me that I wouldn't feel at all insecure or as if I was missing anything if I was to have one of these in my garage. Of course, the driving experience is the thing that really takes you on your journey when you jump behind the wheel. Everything's where it should be. Ergonomics is something that's incredibly important for a Formula One driver. You need to know where everything is. It has to be instinctive. And I don't see why that should be any different from the normal road-going customers. And when you jump in there, whether you're slightly taller like me or whether you're a wee bit shorter, the car presents itself to you when you're inside the cockpit, and it has to be driven. Nice sporty seats, which I always appreciate. It's always nice to feel a little huddle, isn't it, around your back and your bum. So you really feel that you're well supported in the car. And for the rest, you'll experience for the first time, for most of you, just how the car performs out on track.
I couldn't have said it better. I think this car just shouts sporty driving performance and perfect agility. And especially this sportiness is perfectly coupled on the interior with exclusivity and luxury, which you would have to expect in any Mercedes-Benz on the interior.
The simplicity of the interior, but behind all of that sort of easy to access technology, the functionality I think is fantastic. And there's a lot of other fantastic car brands out there, but sometimes you can see that the technology has been developed in isolation, so it doesn't necessarily all work integrated with the driver. Whereas this is a driver's car. The range that Mercedes have right now, especially, is really appealing to those who enjoy to drive. So clean, sporty. I like this use of the word sexy, and you know, it looks like a destination. It's somewhere you want to be. So the sooner we can actually go out there and experience it, the better for all.
I think beauty is a perfect description, and this is just a testimony of what a driver's car should be like. Let me go a bit into the features this vehicle has. This vehicle is equipped with a vast amount of features which you would see in many other Mercedes-Benz, but it's got a few highlights and features which make this car truly unique. It's got, obviously, the intelligent light system, which many of our other cars have. The panoramic sunroof, which, for instance, the C300 has, make the sporty appearance even more so exclusive. The full LED lights are also a special feature in combination with, for instance, the reversing camera. But as you would want to have on any sporty car, you need the sports exhaust system, like for instance on the C300. In addition to that, it's got many interior features which make this car special. Let me start off with the telematics and the rear, the touchpad and the command online with the 8-inch screen. On top of that, it's got the Burmese surround system, making it just so much more passionate and fun to drive. The interior ambient lighting just adds to its exclusivity and the luxury. And the dynamic select is what we need in order to get all the sportiness and all the agility out of this vehicle. But if you've got a sporty ride, you obviously also need all the safety and assistance systems to support you to get you safely to your destination. In this vehicle, I included, for instance, the collision prevention assist. You've got also the attention assist, the knee bag, or pre-save. These are features which this vehicle has to give you the best ride possible. Now, having talked about all the features and all the bells and whistles this car has, let me go into the variants this vehicle has. This vehicle comes with the M274 engine, which is a 4-cylinder inline turbo engine, and comes in 3 variants: the C200 Coupe, the C250 Coupe, and the C300 Coupe. The C200 Coupe has 184 horsepower and accelerates in 7.3 seconds from 0 to 100. The C250 has 211 horsepower, accelerated in 6.8 seconds with 350 Newton meters of torque. And the top of the range C300 has 245 horsepower and 6.60 seconds from 0 to 100. David, which one would you choose?
Well, performance, of course, is still, even at my age, long retired from Formula One, but you know, it'd be very difficult to not want to experience not to 106 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, it's just incredible, isn't it? The performance levels that can be achieved nowadays. And again, that's something that I've not had the chance to pop the bonnet, but the detail that goes into not only the engineering of the engine, which is you know, a fantastic work of art, but the packaging, that's something that really gives these cars an edge over the competitors. You know, the weight distribution and the sort of level of engineering that's there. It's not just what you see on the exterior. The detail is really there in all the small areas, which is why I think the reliability of the vehicles nowadays from Mercedes is just incredible.
Yeah. These 3 variants come with different specification levels, and the C200 starts at 308,888 rating. It's got all the specs I was just talking about. The C250 is priced at 333,888 ringgit, and the C300 comes with the top equipment level and the top of the range engine at 388,888 ringgit. These are 3 variants which will find its fans in the Malaysian market, those which are passionate about performance cars, about dream cars. David, anything to add from your side about this vehicle?
Well, just, you know, I can have my particular opinions, and what I look for as a younger Grand Prix driver and what I look for today are still largely the same. You know, you want to have that performance, you want to feel the luxury of the interior, the simplicity of the functionality of everything that you have inside the car. it's all written there, isn't it? You know, there's so many extras that come with these vehicles. It's incredible to see in my journey from when I first started driving at 17 to where I am today, just how far things have moved. So exciting times right now, but can we imagine where we're going to be in the next few years as well?
Yeah, I mean, these vehicles are just stunning, especially the equipment levels which they have. I believe the C-Class Coupe is the perfect addition to our dream car range. It's a stunning car. It's just the perfect combination of style, design, and sportiness. And I think it's a true brand shaper, adding to our dream car range a very interesting variant which many fans in Malaysia will want to get into. Thank you very much for taking the time to come here. We've got a very much exciting program coming up in the next few hours. Please join us for that. But if there are any questions.
All right, and thank you so much for sharing with us, Mark and David. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Now, I'm sure some of you have got questions in regards to today's event. If you have any questions for Mark or David, just raise your hands and a mic will be passed to you. We'll also appreciate that all questions we have focused to today's launch of the new Mercedes-Benz C-Class Coupe. And with that, can we have the first question, please? Yes?
Hi, Mogul from Malaysia. Just want to know, where is the car being built?
The car's being built in Germany, in our other plant.
All right, thank you for the question. Next question. This is a great opportunity to have a chat with a living legend. Perhaps I will get the ball rolling. David, I've got a question for you. Is there anything that you miss about racing competitively?
Well, the thing that was fantastic about being a Grand Prix driver is developing new technology with your team. And it doesn't matter if it's Lewis Hamilton, Nico Rosberg, or during my period of Formula One. They are creating new technologies which eventually find their way into the road cars. Formula One today is about the hybrid technology, which we've had hybrid in road cars for some time. But the rate of development that Formula One, a competitive sport, brings to that technology is the thing that is one of the key reasons why Mercedes choose to be involved in Formula One. You know, many manufacturers have come and gone in the last 20 years from Formula One because they came with great belief that they could conquer the world, found it to be difficult in that sporting arena, and decided to go off and seek easier challenges. You know, Mercedes have stayed with the journey in Formula One through not always competitive winning times, but they've won through now and have set a new benchmark in Formula One, beating some huge names in the sporting arena. So for me to have been part of that journey in a small way, I won the first Grand Prix for Mercedes in 1997 in Australia, which was the first time they had a win in the modern era since the old Silverado created the Mystique. So I feel proud to be part of that journey, and so it's the teamwork of working with the engineers and coming up with new ideas and developing tools which will enable us to go faster, and ultimately it's not about making it more complicated, it's actually making the performance but also simplifying the use so the driver can get the performance out of it.
Thank you very much, David. Next question? Yes, the gentleman behind.
I'm Marcus from Rajat Daily. My questions are actually two questions. What are the criteria for the Mercedes-Benz dream car, and how does the Coupe qualify?
We basically, in our range, we've got 4 segments. We've got the compact cars, the A-Class, the GLA, the CLA. We've got our locally built limousines, the C, E, and S. We've got the SUV range, and on top of that, we've got the dream car range. The dream car range are all our performance cars, our stunning looking cars like coupes, like cabriolets, like roadsters. That's basically, in a nutshell, which cars belong to the dream car range.
Marcus? Any other questions?
Yes, the next one is how does the C-Class Coupe qualify? I mean, what makes it a dream car?
Oh, I would have to start my presentation again, but it's basically, it's stunning looks, it's just the beauty, it's the combination, the stunning combination of beauty, design, and sportiness. It's the body shape, I could go on and on.
Yeah, I could dream of that car. I dream of many different things, but that wouldn't be a horror movie at all. That would be a nice dream.
Right?
Hi, I'm Dennis from this year. I have a question for David. In your time with McLaren Mercedes, obviously you had the top cars and you had rivalry with Activision as well. So in light of what happened last weekend in Barcelona, what are your personal views of having a teammate that goes strong, having a pairing that goes strong in one team?
Well, it's always a very difficult moment, isn't it, for a team when the two teammates crash together. And Mika and I did crash together on a few occasions. Actually, two that I remember, and both of them were my fault, which is a bit embarrassing. But you know, it's a very competitive sporting arena, and the reality is, and I spoke to Tito Zech before the Grand Prix in Barcelona, and he's been around long enough to know that if you enter the spotlight of global competition, whether it be the marketplace of global broadcast or whether it be the sporting arena of Formula One, if you're scared of not getting it right every time, then you don't have the backbone to really, create this amazing legacy that Mercedes have done. You will not be brave enough to try and create new technologies that give you a sporting edge. So, as disappointing as it was for Mercedes for the two drivers to crash together, actually, the fact that they allow the drivers to race is great for the sport. If they were to say we have one team leader and one number two, you lose what the fans want. We want to see two guys fighting hard for success. And the fact that we have two competitive drivers in the Mercedes Grand Prix team is a gift to Formula One. We don't really have that at the moment with Ferrari because Vettel and Raikkonen are not as evenly matched as we have with Rosberg and Hamilton. So a little bit uncomfortable for the board, a little bit uncomfortable for the team. But it's world news, which ultimately is good for Formula One. And Mercedes are winning Grand Prix, they're winning the championship, they'll more than likely win the championship this year. And Dita said to me that the goal is not to dominate Formula One. The goal is to win the championship by 1 point in the last race, because the public want to see a titanic battle amongst great competitors. But in the end, a bit like in football, Germany win in the end. So in Formula One, Mercedes need to win in the end. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next question, please. That was a very good answer, by the way. Next question. Yes, the gentleman behind.
Good morning, Mark and David. I'm Eugene from Men's Health. What would you say is your target demographic? Because you've got a range in your dream car collection. What for the C Coupe? Who would you say is your target demographic for the C Coupe?
Because the C Coupe is probably the most affordable dream car which we have in our range. It's the entry level of the customer in the premium segment looking into going into one of these exciting coupes, dream cars. It doesn't matter male or female, young or old, we're looking at all customers trying to enter this exciting segment.
Thank you, Eugene. Next question. Well, David, I've got another question for you. Well, early on we had a chat before the event began, and you've had a very, very packed schedule. You just flew in from London, you're flying out tomorrow. What have you been busy with lately? What are your current endeavors?
Well, since I retired as a driver at the end of 2008, I've been working with UK television, so I was working with the BBC. And I think maybe our commentary partly was coming here as well. And BBC now have handed over the broadcast rights to Channel 4, which is another free-to-air UK channel. So what has changed is I started a production company 7 years ago with a goal of eventually producing sports rights, because sport is something which has been my great passion. And so we now produce the television for the free-to-air channel in the UK. So this is about the C-Class Coupe, that for those of you who want to check out Whisper Films on the internet, then Whisper Films is a company that I started with 2 other investors. And we do American football for BBC, we do Formula 1 for Channel 4, and we love to do some workout here in Malaysia for some other sports. So that's something I'm excited about, because it's about being part of a team. And as a racing driver, I was part of a team. I'm still able to be part of a team with different companies that are involved. Of course, I'm part of the Mercedes family, and as I mentioned, I've been part of that since, when my mother was pregnant with me, I went to the hospital still inside her in a Mercedes. It's been such a big part of our family. And my father tells the story where my mother, she just managed to get into the hospital, and I was actually born on the trolley before getting to the delivery, because I came a little bit early. So I was born on wheels when I was delivered to the hospital in a Mercedes. So, I love, for me, sharing relationships, and I would never be the guy that wants to do a solo climb of a mountain, because who do you high-five? I like to be part of a team. I like to share that experience. So whether it's a team as a driver, a team in business, it's always a pleasure for me.
Thank you very much. If your mother wasn't in a Mercedes-Benz, you might not have made it to the hospital in time.
You're right, because we live 30 miles from the hospital, because I grew up in the countryside in Scotland. So everything is a long journey there.
Well done. So any other questions? Final question perhaps? Yes, the lady.
Hi, I'm Saida from Women's Weekly. I have a question for David. Has it always been a dream of yours to compete in F1? And the other one is, what's the highlight of your racing journey?
Well, the highlight of my racing journey, as I mentioned, I grew up in a small farming area of Scotland, and I was always curious to meet people from around the world. And through racing, I was curious to know, how I could compare with an Italian driver, or a Malaysian driver, or a Japanese driver. And in the end, it doesn't matter where you come from, what your nationality, your religious beliefs, any of that. In sports, we all end up doing about the same lap time, because it's about human endeavour and work ethic. And that's the thing I really enjoyed most. So of course, winning Monte Carlo or winning the British Grand Prix was a great pleasure, but more about who you're standing beside on the podium. When I won my first Grand Prix in Portugal in 1995, I had Michael Schumacher on one side in second, and Damon Hill beside me in third. So I felt very proud that I beat two champions to win my first race. So that for me was always the big pleasure, rather than just selfishly wanting to drive the car. And because of being a little bit jet lagged, I don't remember the first part of your question, which was, give me a hint.
Has it always been a dream of yours to be in F1?
Well, actually, my grandmother always used to say to me, dreaming is what you do when you sleep, achieving is what you do when you work. So I'm not trying to stop people having dreams, but I didn't see it as a dream. I saw it as something that could be achieved if I worked towards it. Just because I didn't come from a racing family doesn't mean you can't be a racing driver, but of course you can't just sit at home dreaming about it. You have to go and knock on doors, you have to create opportunities. And in my life journey, even today, I've been moderately successful in business, but I still like creating opportunities, and those opportunities happen by going and meeting people and talking to people and discussing what you believe your skills are and what someone else's skills are, or what they need and maybe what you can provide. The journey of life, the more you try, usually, the more you receive something. Even in failure, you can take some direction from that.
All right, thank you very much, David. Final question? Last question? Right, well, I have the final question for David. Well, we came across a video of you and Nico Rosberg, the SLS AMG, I think some time ago. How was that experience like? And it's a very rare opportunity for us to see two F1 drivers in one car. So tell us about that experience.
Well, we filmed it for BBC at that time, so part of our preview shows of Formula One. And I think it's fair to say that most drivers don't like being driven by other drivers, because we know that even the very best make mistakes occasionally. And you can't drive, if you're Nico, you can't drive at 95% and expect me to be impressed. So we drove around the old Nürburgring, which is a proper scary racetrack, where you don't really know what's coming over the hill. And that made me feel very uncomfortable. So I won't be volunteering to do it again, but clearly I survived. And he's a very skilled driver who's won a lot of Grand Prix and is leading the World Championship. So, you know, maybe he wins the championship this year.
Fantastic. Perhaps let's take a look. We do have a video, let's pull it up. Let's take a look for ourselves.
There's something you don't see every day. Two racing drivers, one car together. Schumacher. Finally, he can also driving lesson. It's going to be interesting, isn't it?
It was a warm-up lap. Crazy. But he was going very, very slow, so now I'm going to show you how it's done properly. Right, okay, so I'm not allowed to drive. No, I'll handle that away. I'm a little bit scared. Not a good passenger. Some would say not a good driver, but I'm definitely not a good passenger. Send my regards to my mother.
It's exciting weekend for me. You know, we'll see all the fans and everything. It's quite amazing that they still do actually race on this track nowadays. There we go, oh, Jesus, yeah. And I'm getting down the back straight here, which is a massively long straight. When you reach top speed of 300 probably, 260, 270, 280. I think it's time to break because I don't know what's coming up in front. I was just a good corner.
No more. No! I'm not doing any more of that. My stomach's not built for it. That was a bit of a scare for me too, actually. Not only you.
You seem a bit strange, but can I borrow your hand a moment? Put it there.
What do you reckon?
200? Yeah, that last time that was at 200 was when I used to train. That's fear. Apparently you're having to go that way, or is that for me to go to the doctor? Oh, Nico, you've got to go to the doctor.
I'm going to go to the doctor.
All the best for the weekend.
Yeah, please.
Oh, David, that was proper fear.
I'm sweating. It brings back fear, actually, because that's the edited down, and anyone who knows Nürburgring is a very long track. But, you know, he was having tank slappers, as we call them, at very high speed. So, thankfully, the SLS that were in there was a good car, and he's a good driver. But yeah, no one's taking me around the track like that today, please.
But now we know what is in store for all of you later on.
That's right. Perhaps any closing remarks, Mark, David?
Thank you again for joining us here today. It's been very exciting for me. David, thank you for joining us. I think what better brand ambassador for Mercedes-Benz to launch the C-Class Coupe in Malaysia. We've got an exciting program in store for you. I'm looking forward to talking to you all individually over the next few hours. Enjoy it, have fun, see you just now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause. David Burhan, Ms. Mark Rain, thank you so much for joining us here today, David. Now, before we adjourn, we would like to have a photo opportunity right over there at the backdrop. David, Mark, if we could invite you over there. Photographers, do get your cameras ready. Right over there at the C-Class Coupe right behind you. Thank you.
everybody, this is the new C-Class C300 Coupe that has just been launched in Malaysia, priced at 800 ringgit.
David, I think you look really
Basically,
good
it's 388.
with this backdrop. It should be your new car.
888. There's a lot of 8s over there. This is the top range model, and as you can see, it gets
We also
full
have another photo
LED.
opportunity downstairs. Right after this.
It gets the
Right,
full.
last few shots. Last two. Final shot. Right, David, Mark, we'd like to invite you downstairs to the peer photographers. Please do follow us downstairs for the next photo opportunity. We have more in store for you downstairs. Do make your way down here. We've got our ushers to show you the way.
Okay folks, sorry about that. Let me start again. This is the new Mercedes-Benz C-Class Coupe. It's just been launched in Malaysia. The red one you see over here is the C300 Coupe, and this is the top spec model that's available in Malaysia. Price is 888. Whereas the cheapest model, the C200 Coupe, starts at 308,888. So this particular model is 80,000 ringgit more than the C200, but you do get quite a bit extra. Let me show you from the start, from the front. Up front here you get full LED intelligent lighting system, the full ILS. This one has full auto high beam system, so you can just set it at high beam, and there's going to be a camera to see whether there's a car coming towards you or not, and then it will automatically change between high beam and low beam. All models in Malaysia get the AMG line kit as standard, so that includes this AMG line bumper that you can see, as well as the thick chrome line at the bottom. The chrome grille is also unique to the C-Class Coupe. The sedan gets a 2-bar grille, whereas this gets a single bar grille with chrome pins like on the A-Class. Whether you like it or not, that depends on your own taste, of course, but it does give the coupe a more distinctive look even from the front. So even seen from the front, you can tell whether this is a coupe or a sedan. On to the side, this car gets multi-spoke AMG 19-inch wheels. That's, yes, 19 inches, with cross-drilled and ventilated front disc brakes like that. Big calipers over there. These are 19-inch. It's the same wheel that you get in the C300 sedan. The tires, it's either Continental Conti Sport 5 or Pirelli P0s. As is usual with Mercedes-Benz nowadays, you do get run flat tires as standard, and you don't get any more spare tires. None of the coupe models in Malaysia are specified with the night package, so the window line is still chrome, but it's not exactly chrome, it's more of a satin finish. It's not that shiny, which is nice if you ask me. And then you get wing mirrors in body color instead of black. Panoramic sunroof, standard on the C250 and the C300. But there's a small issue. The piece in the back here is red. It's body color, it's not black. So the small piece of body color panel in the back here probably would have looked better if it's all black. Down the back, 19-inch wheels and these are massive wheels. The size is 255/35 R19. Big fat tires for a proper coupe. It's down the rear where it's all new, of course. The coupe gets all new side profile and rear end. If you look at it from the side profile, you can see how low the roof gets. Mercedes-Benz had earlier said that they sacrificed a little bit of rear headroom to achieve this look. And whether that has been beneficial, why don't you tell us? It looks like this. Let's go back to the bumper. This, of course, is an AMG line rear bumper, so you get the side slits over there, twin exhaust, and diffuser in body color. On a red car like this, the diffuser really stands out. I would like to open the boot to show you, but for whatever reason, you can't seem to open the boot from the outside. The only way to do it is if you open the front door and open like that. There you go, it's like that. And if you have the C300, you have the key in your pocket, you can just open it without touching the car at all. You can just stand behind the car, give it a swift kick, and then it'll open by itself automatically. The boot itself is fairly spacious. It has 400 liters of space over here. And there you go, you can pull the stab to hang something if you want. Underneath the boot floor, there's no more spare tire, of course. The car's running on run flats all around. You do get a fairly big space to store extra things, as well as a basket, as a foldable basket. The rear seats can be folded if you pull these tabs over here, like that. And the rear seats do fold 50-50 split. The boot can be closed just by pressing this button. Okay, now let's get to the more exciting bit. Let's get inside. This is the C300 interior. AMG line is standard, so you get the AMG line flat bottom steering wheel with perforated leather. The C300 also adds in carbon fiber dashboard piece. It's very distinctive, this. Command dial is standard on the C300, and you do get a agility dynamic select button, but this does not affect your suspension because suspension is a fixed AMG Sport suspension. What it does change is the weight of the steering wheel, the throttle mapping, and as well as the shift maps for the transmission. It makes you can make it into eco mode, into comfort mode, sport plus, or if you want to customize everything, you can set into individual. And yes, someone's asking whether it's real carbon. Yes, it is. You can even see the weaves, right into the weaves here. The screen is the bigger command online screen on the C-Class, whereas the other models get the smaller non-command screen. They get the Audio 20 instead. Okay, what else? The dashboard is leather wrapped, of course. This is only standard on the 200 and on the 250 and the 300. The C200 doesn't get this. It gets a standard plastic, soft plastic dash top instead. Also unique to the C300, Burmester speakers. This has to be the best speaker grills in the market, as well as powered front seats with memory control. Moving into the rear, it's fairly simple. You can just push the seat forward and then the seat moves forward automatically. Space in the back isn't that great though. Someone's asking whether it has GPS navigation. Yes, it does have it. All models of the C-Class Coupe in Malaysia have navigation, but the C200 and the C250 gets the Garmin Map Pilot instead of the standard Mercedes-Benz navigation. Only the C300 with Command Online gets the full navigation suite from Mercedes-Benz. The rear seats, as you can see over here, is not very spacious, but that's what you should expect from a stylish coupe with a low roof such as this. Legroom is enough for myself, but not a very good measurement person because I'm fairly short at just I'm below 170 centimeters, of course. But even for me, when I sit at the back here, I have about say 3-4 inches of extra legroom, and my head would almost be touching the roof over there. So it's not a great 4-seater car, it's more of a 2+2, but it looks fantastic from the outside, so I think that should be reason enough to buy this car. In case you're wondering, yes, it does have rear vents, and whereas the front aircon is a dual zone climate control system. Let's pop the hood and check out the engine. Alright, this is the C300 engine. It's the most powerful of the bunch, and this one has 200. It's a 2-liter engine with a turbocharger. It has 245 horsepower and 370 Newton meters of torque. 0 to 100 is done in just 6 seconds. Alright, let's move on to the next model. The C250. This one here, it looks almost identical to the C300 from the outside. It gets the same ILS LED headlamps, the same grille, the full AMG line bumper as well. Ignore the 5-spoke 18-inch wheels over here. The C250 that you can buy will get 19-inch multi-spoke wheels, just like on the C300 over there. And just like on the C300, you get big calipers with cross-drilled brakes. All models do get twin exhaust system, but only the C300 gets a sports exhaust system. The exhausts are real. You do get real exhaust pipes going through the exhaust outlets, but the C300 adds on sports exhaust, so it sounds there's an active flap to make it sound more aggressive, but only under Sport Plus driving mode. C250 interior, there you go. Again, leather dash top is standard on the C250 and the C300, but the biggest difference here is the centerpiece. Instead of carbon fiber, this is now a normal piano black finish, and the screen is smaller, as you can see. Because this is not a full command online system. This is just an audio 20 system. Navigation, it does have navigation, but it's not through Mercedes-Benz navigation, it's through Garmin Map Pilot. Someone just mentioned 5-spoke alloys for 250. No, the 250 gets multi-spoke 19 inches, just like on the C300, as I said. As you see here, it does not get Burmester sound system. It gets normal speaker grills instead, in plain black instead of aluminium. That's quite a big loss for the car. Alright. Now, on to the most affordable. I was about to say cheapest, but that's not exactly correct. Okay, so the most affordable model here, the C200. On the outside, it looks fairly the same, fairly similar, but if you look closely, the light is it's not the full LED ILS system. It has one single LED projector instead of two, so it does not have a full auto high beam function. But other than that, it looks fairly high spec. The wheels are 18-inch 5-spoke AMG alloys, and it does get perforated brakes as well. And on the inside, this being the most affordable model, it loses out on the top, the leather covered dash top. So what you do get here is standard plastic. It's slightly soft touch, of course, this being Mercedes-Benz, but you do lose the sense of occasion that you get in the full leather top dashboard in the other models. Other than that, you also lose out on the sunroof. No sunroof here, whereas the two other models get the sunroof. And the dashboard center console is piano black, just like the 250. Also, audio 20 over there. Alright, someone's asking about the price again. The C200 starts at 308,888. That is the same price as the C300 sedan in Malaysia. The C250 is 333,800, whereas the C300 is the most expensive at 388,888. Right, there you go. The Mercedes-Benz C205 C-Class Coupe Standard. Ooh, white leather. Is standard? No, it's not. You get to choose between black, grey, what you see just now was dark grey, or bright red cranberry leather. Combination, of course, depends on the exterior color that you can choose. Alright folks, that's about it for the C-Class Coupe in Malaysia. Read the full launch report on our website in both English and Bahasa Malaysia. And for the full written review, check out our website over this weekend. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.